Hi dear parents, welcome back to another math hour. Today I'm going to teach you how to find the slope of a line and the y-intercept and use that information to find the linear equation. It sounds like a mouthful, but what we're going to do is that I'm going to teach you step by step all the techniques in order to find what we've been practicing, the linear equation. In other words, I'm going to write it down for you. All linear equations have a standard formula, and that is y equals mx plus b. And what this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that the m represents something called the slope, or slope of a line. And the slope of a line simply means how steep a line is, whether it is very sharp angle, like a slope like going like that, or a flatter angle, maybe going like this, or even a regular angle like that. That's what a slope basically means. And in order to find the y-intercept is represented by b. And what this means, the y-intercept, is that this value of b will tell us at what point on the y-axis is the line hitting. At what point is the line cutting into the y-axis. And this basically is the linear equation, the standard. And we're going to use coordinate points in order to find out both the slope and the y-intercept. And using that information, we're going to find out the equation of a linear line, of a line, basically. Let me show you an example right now. I'm going to give you two coordinate points, okay? Let me write it down for you. Two basic coordinate points. Let's make it a little bit larger. So let's say we have 0, -2, and we have 3, 4. And between these 2 points, I would like to find out the slope, the y-intercept, and using this, I would like to find out my linear equation. What is the equation of this line? Now, before I do anything, I want to chart this first on the coordinate graph, just to show you, give you a little visual representation of what the line looks like. So let's go to do the first one. 0 -2, right over here. Let's make it a little bit big size. 0 -2 is right over here. And make sure we label it. 0 is the x-axis, -2 is the y-axis. And then the other one is 3, 4. So 3 on the x-axis, 4 on the y-axis, right over here. And I'm going to label it 3, 4. And now I'm just going to connect this. Obviously, you'd use a ruler. I'm using paint. But the idea is that you're connecting these two coordinate points together like this. And there we go. And now we're trying to find out, well, what's the slope? In other words, what's the steepness of this line? And what exactly is this equation? What is this whole line's equation or linear equation? Okay, and let's just write that down over there. That's what we're trying to find out here. Now, in order to do this, we're going to have to follow two steps, two-step process. The first step, or step number 1, is we need to find the slope between these two coordinate points. And in order to find the slope, we need a formula. And the formula to find the slope of a line is something fancy, something like this. It's called delta. This triangle is called delta. Delta y divided by delta x. And what this basically means, delta y, you simply take a y-coordinate and minus it by another y-coordinate. And you divide that by an x-coordinate minus another x-coordinate. And that's how you find the slope of a line. Now, in order to find x2 and y2 and y1, x1, you go back to your coordinates. And since this is the first one given to me, I'm going to call this x1 and this will be y1. And since this was the second place, I'll call this x2 and y2. And now that we have our numbers, all we got to do is plug it in and solve. And we will get the slope of a line. So let's plug it in. So y2 is 4 minus y1, which is minus 2, divided by x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 0. Now, if you remember your algebra, minus and minus becomes plus, and 4 plus 2 is 6, divided by 3 minus 0, which is 3, which is equal to 2. So we have found out that the slope of this line is 2. And because it's positive 2, that means the line is going up, like that, in a positive direction. Positive lines mean it's going straight up. Negative lines mean it's going all the way down. So we have the slope now. We did step number 1. And now we're going to use this knowledge in order to find out the formula, or the linear equation of this specific line. So what I'm going to do right now is that I am going to write down my formula of the linear line, or linear equation, mx plus b. And I would like to now find out the y-intercept. In order to do that, we got to plug in some numbers. So let's take a look. I know my slope. I found out my slope to be 2, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And then it's going to be multiplied by some x, and of course we're going to add it to get b. Now again, remember, we're trying to find out the y-intercept. We can't find the y-intercept if we have no idea what x is or what the value of y is. We need to fill those things up. And how do you do that? How do you fill them up? Well, we got two coordinates over here. We've got 0, minus 2, and we got 3 and 4. Let's pick one. Let's try 0, minus 2. So 0 is in the x-axis, so y is in minus 2. So minus 2 is equal to the slope, which is 2, multiplied by x, in this case is 0, plus b. Aha! Now let's multiply it. Minus 2 is equal to 0 plus b. And let's bring the numbers on this side. So we get minus 2 minus 0 equals b. And minus 2 minus 0 is just minus 2. So that means b, or our y-intercept, is equal to minus 2. And there we go. We got our y-intercept. Slope is done. Y-intercept is done. So now, let's put all these numbers together for the final equation. I'm going to choose a nicer color here, probably purple. So our final equation is y equals 2, which is the slope, x minus 2. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you find the equation of a line, a linear equation, obviously, when representing y equals mx plus b, where you have to first find the slope, and then using that information, you'll find the y-intercept, and then you put the numbers together, and you get y equals 2x minus 2. So that is my answer for this. This line is represented by y equals 2x minus 2, with 2 being the slope. And that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.